Good day, nerds and nerdettes, and we little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming. And today I'm proud to bring to you the very first episode of 2GP TV's Weekly News Update. Now, what this series is going to be doing is bringing forth a few things from the previous week, from the upcoming week, and anything else that we find worthy enough to throw right in there. So I'm going to be starting off by telling you exactly what you can expect here on 2GP TV Weekly News Update. So after this quick little intro, the first thing I'm going to be doing is talking about the week in review. Videos that we've posted, things that have happened, and just bring everyone up to speed on that. From there, we're going to go into a little bit we call the Kickstarter Watch, where we're going to be discussing games that we've backed on Kickstarter and possibly games that we've been looking at but have yet to back. From there, we have a segment for this week's weekly news segment that is going to deal with Mailroom, because we got a few things in the mail this week, and we're going to discuss them quickly. We have a few viewer comments that we thought we were going to throw up and let everyone see and answer some of them right here live. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And then we're going to be talking about the upcoming week to close out our segment. So with no further ado, let us go exactly right into, with no further hesitation, let's go into that week in review. And now with this segment of 2GP TV's weekly news update, we have the week in review. So this week, 2GP we got a lot covered this week. We all feel good about that here. It was definitely a positive week as far as video drops and everything that led up to each of those individual video drops. So last weekend, me and the 20-sided Warriors, including Alex and Ryan, got a chance to sit down and do a playthrough of IDW Games' new title, Planet of the Apes. I am a huge fan of the original 5 films, especially the first and the third. Alex saw some of the original film over the years, and Ryan has seen nothing. Other than what pop culture has told him about the movie, he knew nothing about it. And so we all came into it with different levels of expectation, thematically speaking. And we all loved it. You should watch that playthrough, because it also serves as a good example of how to play the game. We have a full how-to play, but if you want to learn how to play the game by actually watching it in action, it's a pretty good video to watch. Now on Sunday, we ended up dropping our 20-sided shots first impressions video of the game, what we thought of it. And we all did enjoy it, as I sort of spoiled there a moment ago. We did all enjoy the game. We're looking forward to playing it again. We're also looking forward to getting a chance to play it with 4 players this time. And I'm looking forward to trying a solo run of it at some point. So that might make a solo showdown. We also did we did a couple of other games. Sorry for that pause there. Just trying to think of the order I wanted to put this in, because I wasn't happy with the order that it was written in the notes. So I'm going a little bit off page here. Before I get to that, I think I just more organically to talk about things in order. So Monday, the Midday Monologue Monday drop, if you missed that, that was part 2 of our 3-part series of our top 9 most anticipated 2018 board game titles. That's the 9 games, and part 3 is going to end that off with also at least one expansion added onto that list as a bonus. But we'll talk about that in the week coming up segment. This is the week in review. Now, for Tabletop Takeout Tuesday, I was very excited to be able to talk about the title that I talked about, because me and Alex got a chance to play the game, and although I enjoyed it more than Alex did, we both had a good time at the table. And that game is Gale Force 9's title, Doctor Who, Time of the Daleks. It's an extremely thematic game. You can hear our thoughts about it on the video that we did, the 20-sided shots. Now, Wednesday, this is what I almost jumped to before. I want to keep things in order, however. On Wednesday, we dropped the video of our playthrough of a game acquired from Kickstarter. It's been sitting on the shelves for a few months. Finally got a chance to get it to the table. And that is game is by Midday Games. And the title of that is Mana Forge. So we did a playthrough of that, and that dropped on Wednesday. Now, Thursday is where the week started getting difficult. We were supposed to drop, or should I say I was supposed to drop, our 20-sided shots first impression of Mana Forge on Thursday. However, I don't know if it was my fault or what happened, but there was a corrupted file and I couldn't even open the video. Nothing I could do could get to it. So, in its place, well, I did get the playthrough for Wednesday. We got the playthrough on Wednesday. I jumped ahead. So that was Thursday. We were supposed to drop the 20-sided shots on that, and that was a fail. The playthrough was fine. However, the 20-sided shots video was corrupted. So the playthrough is up of me, Alex, and Ryan playing Mana Forge. That went up on Wednesday, but Thursday's 20-sided shots we didn't get a chance to do, unfortunately. However, I was able to put a video up in its place. We had an unboxing instead. Now, the unboxings don't happen at any regular time during the week. They're not part of the regular schedule. They're always considered bonus videos around here in the Nerd Wasteland. So Thursday's unboxing was for a Kickstarter game that I was very excited about, waiting for big time, and it finally got here. Now, the reason I was waiting for this so excitedly was because it is an expansion to a core game that I love. The 20-Sided Warriors love this game. People I have introduced this game to have gone out and bought it, and they jumped on the Kickstarter for the expansion just as well. As how popular this game is. And that game is Role Player by Thunderworks Games, and it's the expansion for the game that came in called Monsters and Minions. So we did an unboxing of that. That's up if you want to go check that out. Friday, however, I must admit, was a second 2GP fail for the week. We were supposed to be having a Friday Night Fillers. It was going to be a solo showdown. I had not determined what the game was going to be up until that point. It was to be determined. However, the night got way too late on me. Real life jumped in, reared its ugly head, and caused my time to be languored away, as Stephen King might say. But I was able to salvage a little bit of time at the end of the night, and I did another unboxing video. So you might want to check that out. That's an unboxing video for the core game, the base game of One Deck Dungeon. Also in the box it came in, the mailbox, was the expansion for One Deck Dungeon, the Shadow of Forests. That unboxing will come up later in the week, but we'll discuss that when we look ahead at the next week in another segment. So that was the videos that we did during the week, and we were very happy with them, even with a couple of fails that we did. Hopefully, things will run a little bit smoother for this week, but we'll talk about that later on. So we're going to move ahead to the next segment in the show. Wait. Yes. We're going to move up to the next segment of the show, which is going to be our segment on Kickstarter Games. What we're looking at, what we have invested in, and what is on the way. So join us back for that. I'm standing over here by the game shelves right now because we have a segment we want to talk about our Kickstarter games, and they will be having to be placed somewhere on these already busy shelves. Why my finger is in my ear, I have no idea. Film at 11. So the Kickstarter games that Two Gun Pixie has been looking at, has been backing, has already backed, and is expecting, even as we speak now, the list is right here in my meaty, thick, fat-fingered hands. So why don't we go over and see what's going on, because some of you may be backers already. Some of you may have missed these games, didn't even know they were backable, and now will gladly be waiting for when they hit the store shelves. And a few of these recent ones I've just backed, you still have a chance to back. And you can check also to see some of the ones that just finished backing. There's always a chance to pre-order. So I have this list, and it should be, if I did everything correctly, in the order that we would be expecting to receive the Kickstarter games. So Everything Epic, we were a proud backer of their game Coma Ward. It is a horror game, a psychological horror game, and maybe even a little more. Can't wait to see some of these adventures they have. So that is still on track. Coma Ward, according to what they're telling us, backers, is still on track for a late May, early June arrival for this year of 2018. Greater Than Games, Sentinels of the Multiverse, the final expansion for that series, Oblivion. Yes, finally. A year and a half? Yes, a year and a half late. I did not get upset about that. The reason for that is because they were continuously talking to us backers. They were not only talking to us, they were showing us the actual production pictures. They were showing us what was wrong. And the biggest thing that delayed that, the Ultimate Collector's Case. And since most of the backers, your buddy Big Johnny G here himself, backed at the level, at least $109 backer level, to get that case, it was really holding things up. The recent production shots that they've shown looks like the final version of that case is going to be fairly epic. Let's just hope that it lives up to the hype in the photographs that they've already shown. Now, Oblivion and the case are apparently, as we record today, it looks like it is on cargo ships inbound currently to the United States. It looks like, I say that a lot, it looks like. So apparently, let's try to change that up. So apparently they're looking for these to be docking by mid to late May, and that the copy should be in the backer hands by, yes, they're saying by the end of June, maybe as late as early July, as backers will start to see that. And when that gets here, you're going to want to tune into Two Gun Pixie, because we are going to be showcasing that Ultimate Collector's Case as well as Oblivion, the final expansion for the Sentinels of the Multiverse 2nd Edition, or Enhanced Edition. Gamelin Games. Gamelin Games, you know the 20-Sided Warriors have been having a lot of fun with their tiny epic games, especially the Western game and the Galaxies. Well, they have another game. There's actually two. I'll cover them both, even though they're not expected at the same time, just because it's by the same publishers. Tiny Epic Defenders 2nd Edition was a successful Kickstarter. It solved a lot of the problems that the gamers and the backers had with the original. Now they have the expansion, and it is going along great. I backed at a level so I could get Defenders because I missed out on it both times on Kickstarter. So I definitely jumped on that backer level. And they are telling us that everything, as of right now, is still on track for the backers to have it in their hands by July. And like every game on this list, when it gets here, you can expect to see an unboxing of the game. And then depending on how much time is allowed, maybe we'll have time for a how-to play, but there'll probably always be a playthrough and a first impressions, as we call it, the 20-sided shots. Now, as I said, there are two games kickstarted by Gamelin Games that I kickstarted by Gamelin Games. And the other one isn't going to be ready, even though they say everything is still going good. It's not going to be ready in backers' hands till October, appropriately enough, because that game, Tiny Epic Zombies. So we are looking forward to that. Apparently the print and play is available now. If you're a backer and you didn't know that, go on the Kickstarter, go on their update section and check that out. And you should be able to find the print and play available. we have a game that we've been so excited about from Kickstarter. All these games we're excited about. This is one that goes a hair above the rest. So far mentioned. And we love all the ones already mentioned. This game, they're telling us, originally, the backers would expect by August. And that is still what Colossal Games is telling us about Western Legends. An open-world sandbox-style board game where you get to play actual legends from the American Wild West period. And you're going to be able to use them in many different ways. It's an open-world game, from being law-abiding to being rustlers. So I'm really looking forward to that. I am a huge fan of open-world sandbox-style board games. So hopefully they're right. They're still saying August. There's an independent publisher I just backed. I just backed them a few days ago. I saw this. I thought it was great. The presentation on Kickstarter was good. Good enough to impress me. The concept of the game, I really, really liked. Now, normally, I'm not a big fan of games that are just made specifically for single player. So most of the time, if my friends aren't over here, the 20-sided warriors are not here to game, I have something to do. So therefore, I don't have time for most one-player games. But a combination of things, how this game was presented, what the game is about, and the fact that I'm starting to do some more solo showdown videos changed my attitude about this blood-soaked game of revenge by independent publisher Artem Safarov. And that game is called Unbroken. This is a fantasy-based game where you are the last surviving member of a party of adventurers that got wiped out. In fact, it was believed to be a TP kill. It was believed to be a TPK. But no, you survived. And now, you want your revenge. That's what this game is about. And that really caught my attention. So I immediately backed this game. So you're going to want to go check that out on Kickstarter yourself, possibly. Unbroken. They are saying, and the game is not finished on the Kickstarter. There's still time to do it. So anything can happen in the timeline. But according to them, we backers should be expecting that by December. A game me and the 20-sided warriors have already talked about. We did a Kickstarter preview for this. We did a preview playthrough for this. Our first impressions of this game. We are in cardboard love with Sentient Cow's successful Kickstarter endeavor known as Secret Unknown Stuff, Escape from Dulce, the first in a trilogy of Secret Unknown Stuff games that we are already excited to see the continuation from. So that game, they are telling us, and we are praying that they are correct, that it will be a Saturnalian miracle as it will deliver in the backers' hands by December. Wishing you guys luck on that, because all the backers, we all want to see that. And let me tell you, when the final product is here and we have a final copy of it, I can't wait to show you how awesome and great and durable this final version of the product is, considering that the review copy, the unfinished beta review copy that is just hobbled together to send out to us reviewers itself was amazingly sturdy and unbelievable. This is going to be amazing. So let's hope for the Saturnalian miracle in December. Another game that has gotten delayed. Gotten delayed several times. Not quite as much as Oblivion. But because of Oblivion, it got delayed. And that is a game coming out, a cross-company game that Greater Than Games is part of, but it is being published specifically by Green Ronin Publishing. Green Ronin is the powerhouse behind the role-playing game Mutants and Masterminds. Currently, I believe, in its 3rd edition. We do have ourselves an upcoming 2nd edition run in the Paragons campaign of that. That should be starting next week, but we'll be talking about more of that in our segment coming up for the week coming up. But that game was supposed to already be in backers' hands, or just about by this time anyway getting in backers' hands. And that got delayed because the production on Oblivion got so delayed. So as of right now, Chris Promise over at Green Ronin Publishing is telling us that by first quarter 2019, we backers will have that. Then perhaps there's still time. I did not look, I did not know. Maybe they're doing pre-orders, but you can go check that out. Green Ronin Publishing. Check out the Kickstarter on it. It may have more information for Sentinels of Earth Prime. That's going to be great. Taking the Mutants and Mastermind, iconic core characters from their main campaign setting, Freedom City, and transforming them into Sentinels of the Multiverse cards. Can't wait. Now, the final game that we have kickstarted, that is one of the most successful games currently on Kickstarter, if not the most that is currently running. And that game by Dragori Games is called Arena the Contest. This is an absolutely beautiful board game. It is a skirmish game. It is a cooperative dungeon delve game. This game has some of the most beautiful miniatures, and there are beautiful miniatures on this list already that I forgot to point out, such as the Secret Unknown stuff. Beautiful miniatures in that game. The Colossal Games' Western Legends, beautiful miniatures, that's for sure. Coma Ward has some beautifully interesting looking patient miniatures. But let me tell you, Arena the Contest also probably has the most beautiful looking miniatures, at least currently on Kickstarter. This game, when we did the Kickstarter preview of it, we all knew and we said from the get-go that it was Kickstarter Gold. And we were right. This game is so overfunded, it is phenomenally beautiful. So you're going to want to check that out. And of course, it is still an open fund, so anything can happen. But their concept, their idea of when backers can start seeing these products in their hands is going to be next year. Let's see what happens. Now, there's one other thing I would like to talk about. It is not a Kickstarter game, but it is a pre-order game that is going to be here within the next... it should be here by the first or second week in May, and we are eagerly waiting for this. It's actually another game by Everything Epic, which started off the Kickstarter list with Coma Ward. And that game is a franchise tie-in to one of my favorite movies. A classic from the 80s that to this day still stands up for action and comedy, as well as just some great acting, directing, and cinematography, as well as special effects. And before I go on and on, like I'm trying to do this pitch to the Academy, that game, let me tell you, is the Deluxe edition version of Big Trouble in Little China. When this game gets here, there's going to be a grand opening for this, an unboxing. We are going to be showing this game off. So we're going to be expecting that in a few weeks. So that is the news from Kickstarter. All right, I decided this is time to talk about the Mailroom section. Things that we got in the game. A couple of them you've already seen. A couple of them you haven't yet. Give you a little idea of what's been going on in the Two Gun Pixie Mailroom. So the first, let me go over a couple of things that you've already seen, that we've already mentioned, before we surprise you. As you already know, because of the unboxing, we got our backer copy of Role Players Expansion, Monsters and Minions by Thunderworks Games. And we were very, very happy to get this in. You gotta check out that unboxing. So that came in the mail. Another thing that you already saw in the mail, but you only got to see one unboxing of, and that is our one-deck dungeon copies by Asmati Games. Yeah, Tommy V was our guinea pig. We got him the core game, and he came back with such high positive reviews. When I saw a chance to grab the expansion along with it, I got both of them. That's right. We already did the unboxing of this, and this unboxing is coming up later in the week. Not sure when. Don't really schedule the unboxings. We're going to see when I have time, but it definitely will be up sometime this week. Now, you already saw those. Something you saw on the table, maybe if you saw the photographs that I put up on Twitter, you may have already seen that there is an Osprey Games that we got for a review copy, and that is High Society. Yeah. That is a Rainier Kinzia. I don't know if I'm saying any of these names right. I try. I don't know. But he's really put out some great games, and we're looking forward to this game here. It's all about being a bon vivant. So we put that game to the side. We're going to be getting to an unboxing of that also at an unspecified time within this week or next week. And from there, we're going to at least start with a how-to play, a playthrough, and first impressions of that. Now, here are two games that are going to be out. I believe they're going to be out. A few small copies, I believe, are going to be out by Origins, and I think it's Gen Con. I'm going to have to double check that. If I'm mistaken, I'll put a note about that. But we got two games. Itty Bitty Dungeon. So we're going to be doing our review of this and a playthrough of this, definitely. If we have time, we're also going to love to probably do a how-to play of it as well. And also Kingdom 18. So both these micro games are exactly that, 18-card decks. They're both two-player games. Kingdom 18 is supposed to go for about 10 minutes, while the Itty Bitty Dungeon is supposed to run for about 20 minutes. So look forward to seeing these, because we got these in our mailroom. Very cool. And the last thing we're not going to talk about right now, right yet, let me see what else is coming up. No, we're not going to talk about it yet, but I'm going to show it off because I'm very excited. There is something very special about this box. Very special. This has the board game giveaway prize in it. I'll talk about this in another segment. But that's what's been going on in the mail. That is what we most recently got in the mail. And we made wait a second. Hold on. There's one more thing. We actually didn't get this the past week. We got it a couple weeks ago and did an unboxing of it. And we can't wait to do a playthrough of Bar Pig. Yeah, that's going to be fun. In fact, not only are we going to do a playthrough of this, but there's some alternate rules that you can play while drinking, and we're going to do a challenge with this game up against Drinking Quest 4. Yeah, the Journey into Drought. So that's going to be fun. So we got this a couple of weeeks ago. We had done a review of the game, and as most of these game publishers do, they'll send the finished copy of it. It's a nice way of saying thank you. It's really the only payment I get for doing it. Actually, it's the only. It's not like saying it's kind of only, really, sort of. No, it definitely is the only payment that I ever get. And not everyone does it, but I still do it anyway. You know, and also they want us to show off the final product. So that's another reason. They're not just giving it to us as payment. We're still sort of advertising for them. Look what I just did, right? So that's that for this segment right now. And we're going to be going ahead with a couple of viewer comments. All right, so stay tuned for that. And now we're at the viewer comment section of 2GP TV's weekly news update. These are some comments that have caught our attention, and I just thought they would be fun to bring up. So the first comment comes from our Tabletop Takeout Tuesday number 7 episode, Doctor Who and Time of the Daleks. That episode was about, and we had two comments on that we liked. LP Third Gamer commented, "I dig it, spring. I especially love the song Breakout." If you haven't watched the video, and you don't know what he's talking about, feel free to go check it out. I was just comically waiting for people to go look at an earlier video, and just broke out in a little song. And that song is from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Pure Imagination. Here I am, 48 years old, and that's still my all-time favorite song. So I have a horrible singing voice, so thank you so much, Factory, saying you enjoyed that melody Breakout. That was that was unexpectedly cool. The second comment came from Game K. Game K said, awesome video! Doctor Who is a great show. I agree with you 100%. I have a rocky history with Doctor Who myself. I remember seeing an episode in the 70s, and I think it was black and white. I think it was an early John Pertwee episode. Now, yes, in England, that did start the season in color, but they filmed black and white episodes that they sent out of the country, and there was a fair amount of black and white John Pertwee episodes seen here in America. So it might have been a John Pertwee episode. I remember the gray hair, and I remember being black and white, so it also could have been a replay of an old William Hartnell. But as a kid, it did not hook me whatsoever. It just looked hokey to me. Then I watched the was it 1980 or 80-something, when they did the American hand-in-hand produced episode of Doctor Who, the Doctor Who TV movie. That did not hook me into it. Then Eccleston finally hooked me in. When they restarted the series again with Eccleston, that hooked me back into the series. And being a continuation from all those years ago, I had to go and watch those earlier episodes, as many of them as I could. And I have seen just about all of the early Doctor episodes. And I have to agree with you, that is a great show. My favorite Doctor is the second Doctor. I love Patrick Troughton. He's the one that made the Doctor work. But I also just love his character. I love the way he played with being the Doctor. I love the way he helped define some of the things that are still the Doctor to this very day, including the sonic screwdriver. We have Patrick to thank for that. But the first four Doctors are always among my top 5 Doctors. The fifth Doctor? My fifth favorite Doctor, or not necessarily my fifth favorite Doctor, but in the top 5, because other than Troughton, they kind of mix around a little bit, would be Colin Baker. I think he's much misaligned. I think he was much better, especially for the time that he was a Doctor. I think it was a perfect fit, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. In fact, the 2 Doctors episode with him and Troughton, one of my favorites, definitely. So, Game K, also a big Doctor Who fan. Thank you for that comment. Friday night filler episode, the solo showdown of Forbidden Desert. We had a comment from a buddy of mine, Thunder God. Nice to be talking to you again. Thunder God said, dude, you need to try to do a video on a PS4 or Xbox game. Trying to get out of your zone, man. I already answered that, but if you didn't see the answer in the comment or even notice that, basically what I told him is, sure, I would love to do that. If anyone would like to send me a video game system, an Xbox, a PS4, and some games, sure, I'll film videos of me playing it and talking about the game. I got no problem with that, but I don't own any video game system anymore. To me, I don't have a lot of free time, and if I have time to game, it's gonna be with my friends. And if I don't got time, then I'm not gonna be sitting around the table. It's kind of hard to explain. To me, video games have over the years become, to me, a solitary experience. Even when I'm playing with others online, it's still a solitary experience. Me sitting down by myself, closing myself off from my environment with the headphones on and my eyes just completely focused, on the screen. That becomes a very personal thing. So it's a very solo experience to me. And I don't have a lot of time to just sit down and play video games. Like I said, if I got time to game, I'll call the 20-Sided Warriors over, and we're sitting at the table where we can experience each other firsthand, in person, reading body cues and hearing tones and inflections in the voices. And to me, that is a much deeper experience, and I love doing that. But, like I said, if somebody wants to get in touch with Two Gun Pixie and send us a PS4 or an Xbox with some games, sure, I got no problem. I'll play a game for, I'll throw it on the TV for an hour and film some of it. That'd be fun. Now we have a comment on a my midday monologue, Monday number 35. Haddo Vlogs said, hey, does your mustache keep you warm? Enjoyed the video. So much energy. Well, he didn't put up the thumb. I just did. It felt natural. Does my mustache keep me warm? Well, I did make a comment that I've had the mustache my entire life since I've been able to grow facial hair. I have had a mustache along with whatever else at the time. Full beard, mutton chops connecting to the mustache, just the goatee, which I had for the longest time. Grew it all the way hanging down. It was a marvel to behold. But through it all, I've always had the mustache. So does it keep my upper lip warm? I have nothing to judge it against. Wait a second, that's not really true. I could judge it by comparison, because I have had chin fur and I don't have chin fur. And I do notice that initially it did feel cold. But the longer I've gone without any chin fur, so to speak, any of the whiskers there, I get used to it. So I guess it is keeping my lip warm for for a little while. But if I shaved it off, hopefully it would follow suit with the chin. Final comment, just 5 quick ones. The final comment is from our 20-sided shots, episode number 31, which we did a Kickstarter preview of our first impressions for Arena, the contest, which as of this filming is still on Kickstarter's blown everything out. It's you gotta go check it out. If you like fantasy games, if you like dungeon crawls, if you like skirmishes, one-on-ones, if you like fully cooperative games, this covers it all. And if you love beautiful miniatures, some of the most beautiful you've ever seen, go check it out. But on that first impressions video, Cup of Spring left the comment, "It is good that somebody still plays the tabletop games as well." Cup of Spring, thank you very much. And I know a lot of my followers and my subscribers and my watchers, my viewers, I know a lot are not deeply entrenched in the board gaming community. So therefore you may not be aware, but this is a billions of dollar a year industry. This has exploded. This is massive phenomenon all over the place. And if you do a general search on YouTube, don't do it for board game YouTube channels, you're going to find a lot of them that you can subscribe to. Start with Two Gun Pixie, then look for other people. You'll be able to see that there really is a lot out there. But I'm very glad that I could be your introduction to that. So thank you very much, Cup of Spring. Thank you very much. So those were the comments that we wanted to share with you, and we're going to be moving on after the viewer comments. We're going to be getting ready to wrap things up with the upcoming week, and then we're going to be out of here. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of the 2GP TV Weekly News Update. Welcome back, and for one of our final segments here, actually the final segment, before we say goodbye, good evening, good day, is our upcoming week. What the week looking like from April 8th to 15th is going to be about here on YouTube for all our Two Gun Pixie viewers. So starting Monday, as always, we will be doing our Midday Monologue Monday, and this will be our third and final part of our top 9 most anticipated games for 2018, our 2018 game dar. So we'll be finishing that up on Tuesday. You can expect another episode of Tabletop Takeout Tuesday, and the hint that I shall grace you with concerning what the game is that we will be discussing to whet your appetite, so to speak. The Infinite PC Generator. Ooh, that's an easy one. So that'll be for Tabletop Takeout Tuesday. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, we don't have regular programming for those days. Those are open days for either us just to get stuff done in real life or to see what comes up. So we have a bunch of options, some of them quick, some of them not so quick. So if anything, we should be able to get something up on both days, it looks like right now. Things that we have to look forward to is we have some Kickstarter games and games that are about to be released that we need to start talking about, need to start bringing to your attention. And I'm hoping to be able to start that on this Wednesday and follow through on Thursday. And that is Dure Lesser Houses. That's going to be, that game is coming out, I think, also for Origins and and Gen Con. I got to double check, but I think that's also another game that's going to be releasing at that time, and that is a Take That style social situations game that's set in a medieval sort of setting. Wouldn't say fantasy, since offhand, from what I've looked through it, I didn't see anything very fantastic. No. Also, as you recently just saw, Itty Bitty Dungeon and Kingdom 18. We're going to be previewing those games for you as well. So there's a chance Wednesday and Thursday for that, as well as another game called Gunfights and Gambling. So those are some possibilities for Wednesday and Thursday. And if all else fails, or if we can squeeze in as extra episodes this week, there's the unboxing for One Deck Dungeon Expansion Forest of Shadows, as well as High Society. Those two games could be snuck in at any day. Friday, starting in with the unofficial start of the weekend, we are looking at a Friday night filler to be announced. I believe, however, we may look forward to One Deck Dungeon. If it's going to be a solo game, which it should be. So look forward to that. And Saturday, once again, me and the 20-side Warriors are going to attempt to all have enough free time at the same time to get around the table and play Mutants and Masterminds 2nd Edition Paragon's campaign setting. This is going to be a limited run game, maybe 6 to 8 sessions, I'm thinking. And it depicts a world that is exactly, completely, 100% normal to the 1980s of New York City in the real life 1980s. But something happened recently. And now people with superpowers are starting to appear, including the player characters. This is going to be an interesting campaign. We've had a couple of false starts because of real life intruding on 1 or 2 or 3 people's lives all at once. So we are attempting that again this Saturday. That'll be the Saturday Showdown, which we will also then film a tabletop, Tales from the Tabletop, which we get to discuss the role-playing games that we've already played. So look forward to that. And then Sunday, if this is well received, as I hope it is, Sunday we can look forward to another episode, our second episode of 2GP TV's Weekly News Update. All right. Now, wait a second. Before this is up, I wanted to mention this box. I wanted to mention this box one more time. This box contains a board game that is tops on my list, as well as the 20-sided Warriors. This is going to be a giveaway contest for all my subscribers. If you want to get involved in this, you're going to have to subscribe, you're going to have to comment, and you're going to have to wait until the whole official rules are going to drop. And that's going to drop when we tell everyone what this is. When is that going to be? When we hit 975 subscribers. That's the news. When we hit 975 subscribers, my friend, we're going to introduce to everyone what is in this box. And I guarantee you, it is a minimum of an $80 retail value. All right. Wanted to make sure that we brought that up right away. All right, my friends, nerds and nerdettes, and we little nerdlings all. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. This has been 2GP TV's Weekly News Update, the very first episode. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave a comment at the bottom and let us know if you did enjoy this. Let us know if this is a style of programming that you would like to see return to our show. Also, if that's the case, give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed to us already, this would be a fantastic time to hit that subscribe button just to show your support to Two Gun Pixie, to Big Johnny G, and the 20-sided Warriors and everything that we're attempting to do here. So until next week, my friends, everybody, stay cool. No, that's not a good sign-off for the first show. I hope all your rolls are crit hits. I'm Big Johnny G, and my friends, I am not going to scream on a news show. I'm out of here.